Good morning. Good morning. Wonderful people, lovers of freedom. Onye bata okwu ebe o si wee na-ajoin anyị ụbọchị taa. What a wonderful day again. What a wonderful morning from my location. The atmosphere is very friendly. The weather is very nice. Not too sunny and not too cloudy. Just very, very friendly. Please, if you join me, tell me where you are joining from. Kebi Suena Fumu. Inona me. Kinona be. Be Lisa. Inona Germany. Ko France. Kisuena Fumu. Because let me know. I want to know where you are watching me from. And I want to welcome you this morning. Anywhere you are watching from. How is your location? How is your area? How is the country that you are watching me from? Is your country one of the countries that are under the occupation of the terrorists of this world? Success, Ekpa. Where are you watching from? Thank you for joining me. Wow, you are watching from Ivory Coast. Yes, what is happening in Ivory Coast, my brother? Congratulations, congratulations. Ivory Coast is now fighting for their own total freedom from the hands of the imperialists. Please, what is happening in Ivory Coast? Congratulations to Ivory Coast. Congratulations to Mali. Congratulations to Burkina Faso and Niger. These countries, their youths have risen up to take their destiny in their own hands. So success, what is happening in Ivory Coast? We understand the military have taken over and they are driving away the imperialists, those who are keeping Africans hostage. So tell us, how is Ivory Coast this morning? I hope it's all calm. That is actually what we want. Africa needs to be free from France. We need to be free from Britain, from the West. These people have held us hostage for a very long time. It is now time for Africa to liberate themselves from the hands of the imperialists. So, this revolution that has started in Africa, they want to usher in the greatest country of this world, Biafra. What is happening in Africa today is not just happening for happening's sake. There is a spirit behind it. Something is pushing this revolution, and they are waiting for Biafra to arrive. So good morning, success Ekpa. Thank you for watching. So please, if you join us, tell us where you are watching from. Are you watching from America? Or are you watching from the zoo? The zoo, they get lights. Okay, they had now. You see somebody that is watching from the zoo. If they not get battery low, you go tell yourself fuel no day to power their generator to charge their phone. A very useless and hopeless country at that. Please, if you join us, indicate where you are watching from so that we can acknowledge your presence, so that I will appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Please like, share, and comment. Like, share, and comment. Very important. Ivory Coast is the newest country in Africa that have risen up to take the destiny into their own hands and drive away all these terrorists, all these imperialists that are occupying Africa. They don't want us to be free. They want to continue to, steal from us. Even after stealing from us, they will still call us criminals. They will still use what they stole from us to better their country, and yet they say we are poor. You can imagine. They come to your country, they steal your gold. They use their gold to build their country, and they still call you poor. But this time around, the spirit of Africa have risen up, and it is because of Biafra that all these things are happening. So I thank God for what is happening in Africa. The revolution that is happening in Africa is going to go around, and they are waiting for Biafra. So thank you for joining. I need a lot of people to join us so that we can, I can say what I want to say this morning. Biafrans all over the world, wonderful people and lovers of freedom. I salute you from here in Mozambique. Thank you for joining me. Today is the 22nd day of May 2025. Yesterday, our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, went to court. And of course, our leader going to court, is just laughable. All the very, very laughable. Nigerian state, they don't have shame upon themselves. They don't have shame at all. How can you go to another country, you kidnap somebody who is fighting for his freedom, you bring him back to your country, even after you committed a crime, and you are trying to prosecute that person? That is just nonsense. What the Nigerian government are doing, they are using DavidNnannah BTV to buy time for the conquest, for the jihadists to take over Nigeria. For ndị Fulani na-egosi na ha nwe Nigeria. They are in charge, and you don't blame them, because they are together. They are one. They are focused on what they are doing. They are focused on their agenda. Their agenda is to take over Nigeria. That is their agenda. They told you that their great-grandfather, Usman Dan Fodio, told them that Nigeria belongs to them. So therefore, anywhere any Fulani man comes, as long as he enters Nigeria, Ochawebe as his portion, as his inheritance in Nigeria. So the Fulanis have taken over Nigeria. They are doing anything that they like. They are in power. They are in positions anywhere in that contraption called Nigeria. They decide what happens. They decide which community goes. They decide who dies and who lives. They decide which infrastructure is built, which state. They decide which governor they should remove and who to take. This is what the Fulanis are doing, because Nigeria belongs to them. And a lot of people don't really understand what is playing out in Nigeria. A lot of people are still living in ignorance. And I don't know the reason why. You wake up in the morning, you see your community is going down. You see that people in your community are running away from their community. because of the invasions, because of the killings of the Fulani herdsmen in your community. And you call yourself a community leader. You call yourself a PG. You call yourself a local government chairman. The community that you are chairmaning, the Fulanis are killing people. The Fulanis burning houses, displacing people from their farmlands. And you call yourself a leader. In fact, you are not worthy to be a leader in that community. So that is what is playing out in Nigeria today. So yes, wonderful people and lovers of freedom all over the world. My name is DavidNnannah. I am a member of the Biafran Writers of Conscience, BWOC, and I'm coming to you live from my location in Mozambique. And I come once again this morning to remind our people of the task that we have at hand. We have a lot of unfinished business. We have a lot of things that are waiting for you and are waiting for me. And those things that are waiting for us, if we don't do it, nobody will do it for us. Ọ dị ka mmiri dọrọ n'eju dọrọ nwa nkịta. Mmiri dọrọ n'eju dọrọ nwa nkịta. Anytime nwa nkịta garachara, that mmiri dọrọ ya there. That is actually why I have come this morning. So this message is for Biafrans all over the world. So I want you to pay a very important attention to what I'm going to say. Please, if you join me, I would like to know where you have joined me from. Very, very important, so that I can acknowledge you and acknowledge where you are coming from, your destination. So this morning, Biafrans and lovers of freedom, a lot of things have gone wrong in Biafra land. And a lot of things are still going wrong in Biafra land. It is your responsibility and my responsibility to correct that. I won't hear for you. I hear data for each and every one of us. It is within our jurisdiction. It is within our range to correct what is happening in our land today. And we can only correct it. We can only correct some of the abnormalities that is happening in Biafran territory if we are free as a people. If you are free as a people, that is the time that you can be able to correct some of the things that have gone wrong in Biafran territory. The generation of Biafrans, the Biafrans of this generation, a lot of the youths are still sleeping. A lot of our people are still sleeping. They don't actually know what is happening in their localities. Do I blame them or do I blame the government? Who actually am I going to blame? The youths have a blame. The government have a bigger blame. But the reason why the government have a bigger blame is that the government have something that they are doing that they don't want the youth to know about. The Nigerian government, the governors from the southeast, the political leaders from the southeast, they have a bigger blame of all the atrocities that is happening in our communities. Because the reason why they have this bigger blame is because they don't want the youths to know what they are doing in various communities of our land. The Nigerian government, the government of Nigeria have a plan against us in our land, Biafran territory. And that plans cannot materialize. They cannot implement their plans without using our brothers, without using our sisters who are in political positions in our territory. I repeat, the Nigerian government have a sinister plan against us Biafrans in our land, in our territory. But that plan, they cannot execute it without using those of our brothers and sisters who are in political positions in our land to execute their plans, their evil plans. This is why the youths, one of their plans against us in our land is to make sure that the youths are kept in the dark about what they are planning to do in our communities. So what do? They empower the government of our territories. They empower the governors. They empower the senators. They empower the local government chairmen, the representatives, in order for them to do their bidding, in order for them to implement these plans that they have against us in our land. And these people that they have empowered have to obey. They have to work with whatever plan that the terrorist Nigerian government have in our land. And they have to implement their policies. And that is why the youths are kept in the dark about the atrocities that the Nigerian government has for us in our land. Take, for instance, Hope Uzodimma. First of all, Hope Uzodimma was never an elected governor in the old Imo state. No. Hope Uzodimma came forth in an election. But what happened? Because the government of Nigeria have looked and seen that Hope Uzodimma fits into their picture, they consider Hope Uzodimma as someone who can deliver for them, no matter what it will cost. That was why they have to bring Hope Uzodimma in to be the governor of Imo State. And today, that their plan somehow is working in Imo State. Because it is Hope Uzodimma that made it possible for the terrorist Nigerian state to invade Okigwe, and they are still killing people up to today because Hope Uzodimma agreed with them. Now, Hope Uzodimma also, having come into power, will now empower other people who have the same like mind with him, who will do anything to please him, Hope Uzodimma. It doesn't matter where that person, whether the person is criminal, whether the person is an assassinator, an assassin, whether the person is a kidnapper, as long as you can dance to the tune of Hope Uzodimma, Hope Uzodimma will employ you to work for him. Thereby, Hope Uzodimma have recruited a lot of people who are working under him in order to implement that policy that made the Nigerian government in the first place to give him the position as the governor of Imo State. And now, why Hope Uzodinma is committing atrocities in Imo State, inviting the military to come to Imo State, those who Hope Uzodinma employed to work for him as well are supporting Hope Uzodinma against what the people stand for. They are supporting Hope Uzodinma in order to bring the military to Imo State. Their reason, according to them, is that Hope Uzodinma is fighting against insecurity. And for them, those who are causing insecurity in Imo State are those who are fighting for the freedom of their people. And the government will now use their media to promote their lies to the general public. And those people that are working for Hope Uzodinma will like to use their opportunity because of their positions, because of the influence that they have through Hope Uzodinma, to cover the atrocities that is happening in Imo State. The youths in Imo State will not rise up because Hope Uzodinma employed people who are close to them to prevent them from rising up, even when they know that what Hope Uzodinma is doing in Imo State is very wrong. So I am using Hope Uzodinma as an example, as a case study. This thing is happening in every state in Biafra land that is under the Nigerian control. This is the same thing that is happening in Anambra State. Soludo is there working for the federal government of Nigeria, working for things that will be beneficial to the federal government of Nigeria, killing our people, fighting against the liberation of Biafra. And he has also employed the services of other people so that all these people, while Soludo is committing all these atrocities, all these people will be there praising Soludo for what he's doing. Whereas Soludo is actually fighting against the progress of Anambra State. The same thing happens to Mba. Mba is there for the interests of the federal government of Nigeria. He has employed the services of other people, to help him promote that federal government agenda in Enugu State. And this is what is happening all over Biafra land. So this morning, you as a Biafran youth that is in Biafra land, I want to ask you, are you comfortable with what is happening in Imo State? Are you comfortable with what is happening in Anambra State? Are you also comfortable with what is happening in Enugu State? Because what is happening in Enugu State, what is happening all over Biafra land, is very, very deadly if we don't do something at this particular time. The reason why all these things are happening is because the government have impoverished the people. The government have instigated fear on you. They have used the military to occupy the whole of our nook and crannies in our land. So that even when you are angry, you want to rise up, you want to speak, you want to fight, you will be afraid of the presence of the military. And you would like to assimilate, you want to swallow the humiliations, the intimidation that the Nigerian government are melting to our people. The time for us to rise up is now. If you don't rise up, if you don't start fighting, if you don't start speaking, and if you don't start supporting the government of Biafra now, this intimidation, this harassment that you as a youth is passing through in Biafran territory will never stop. It will never cease, because that is the program of the Nigerian state against Biafrans in Biafra land. Ihe na-eme na bai, Nigerian government bụ ihe na-eme na bai. Ihe eji egbusi ndị bai, ọ ihe Nigeria government chọrọ. Ka ndị niile bụ ndị ọbara ha na-anụ ọkụ bụ ndị youth, ka anyị ghara inwe ike wee binie wee lụso ha ọgụ. Ha wee were polisi, were ndị amị chiju ebe niile, checkpoint ebe niile, police station ebe niile, ndị amị eju, udo gachi everywhere. A na-harass ndị mmadụ, na-eme intimidate people. Because ha chọhụ ka mụ na gị nwere onwe anyị. They don't want you and I to be free. The Nigerian government have a plan against our land. That plan is to continue to hold us hostage into perpetuity. And that is the reason why in Jiwebia this morning, you as a Biafran that is listening, it is no longer about DavidNnannah BTV. It is no longer about Mazi Simon Ekpa. It is about you. It is about me. It is about our generation. It is about our children, even yet unborn. That is the reason why our land is under occupation. They don't want us to rise. They don't want us to be free. They don't want us to progress. They don't want us to prosper. They don't want our land to be developed. That is why our land is under occupation of the Nigerian terrorist state. And I want to ask you a question. If Nigeria don't want you to be free, you yourself, you don't want to be free? Ọ bụrụ na Nigeria si na ha chọrọ ka anyị nwere onwe anyị, anyị nwa na onwe anyị a na-ekwukwenu maka ya. Inside us, do we really want to be free as a people? Because what is happening in our land today is very, very uncalled for and very, very unfortunate. We are known, Kandedi, very brave, fearless, outspoken. We are people who are known to be warriors when it comes to fighting, when it comes to defending what we believe in. We are known to be very brave. But recently, our land has been taken over by the Fulani terrorists, killing our people, maiming communities, and nobody is standing very strong to speak to defend our land. Recently, Enugu State was under another attack by the terrorist Fulani herdsmen. About 2 students were coming from school. These children were accosted by these Fulani marauders, and they were hacked down to death. We expected the young men and women in Enugu State to rise up and defend their land. To rise up, Those Fulanis that come to kill our people, all these people that every time we are talking about Fulani, Ezuwani, killing our people every day, every time. People are still in these communities and living. You don't know how to organize yourself and go and chase these people away from those areas so that you can go to your farm. Everybody, everybody feel less concerned because you are not the one who has fallen victim. These students that were killed by these Fulani herdsmen, they are not your brothers. They are not your relations, right? That is why everywhere is silent in Ozowani, in Enugu State. And this is not the first time. This is not the second time. It is not even the third time that we are getting this information of attack in Enugu State. Yet we have youth in all these communities. We have people who can still fight, but they are not doing anything. Rather, you are calling on the government of Mba to come and protect you. Mba that you know that is working for the Nigerian government. Mba that you know that they have a case to answer in his WAEC certificate or even JAM certificate. But because he has promised the Nigerian state that he is going to deliver Enugu State to them, that is why Mba is still the governor of Enugu State today. So whatever Mba is doing in Enugu State will never be beneficial to you as an indigenous of Enugu State. Mba is working for the money, for the promises that he has promised the Nigerian state. And that promise is to deliver Enugu State to the Nigerian terrorist state. But you don't see that. You are supporting Mba. People will come to your community, drive you away, kill people who are going to school, kill people who are going to the farm. And you have young men and women in those communities. You cannot rise up. You cannot organize yourself to go and drive away all these terrorists in our land. Most importantly, in that Enugu State, because if you don't drive them out today, tomorrow another person will be killed. And you cry, you lament, you call governor, he will not come to your aid. Next tomorrow, they will still kill another person. How many will they kill in your community before you can rise up, pick up your arms and defend yourself in your communities? How many people need to die in Enugu? I ask you. How many of our people need to go down? How many students need to be hacked down? How many farmers need to be killed before you can rise up and defend your communities? People in Enugu, I'm asking you. People in Enugu State that every time these Fulani herdsmen are killing our people, every time, every day, they are killing in Enugu State. And yet, we have youths in Enugu State who are not doing anything. They can do courtesan. They show only their muzzle whenever it involves their own fellow brother. But now, the Fulanis are killing our people and driving them away from their communities. And you can't pick up the courage to go and fight them. This is very, very sad. And I'm not happy this morning. That is why I have to make it clear. We understand that in the past, Enugu State, some parts of Enugu sabotaged the Biafran Liberation Army. You sold your land to the Fulanis. We understand that. And our Prime Minister warned the elders of such land, the elders of such community who did that. When the Biafran Defense Forces came to protect Enugu State, you pledged allegiance to the governor of Enugu State. You said you don't want the Biafran Defense Forces. And when they left, in the Fulani Aswo na Apo, Fulani Ebidomewu invade communities, started killing our people because you refuse to accept the Biafran Defense Forces in Enugu State. S1 to be precise. You refuse to give them access because you wanted to be loyal to the governor that is killing you. You were selling your land to the terrorists, and today, this is the repercussion. This is the result of embracing Fulani in your land. They are killing you, one after the other. One by one, they are taking out the leaders of tomorrow from your community. And the youths in the community cannot rise up to defend their land and their territory. This is very, very sad. The same thing is happening in Anambra State. Gumi advised the federal government of Nigeria, that they should now employ the Biafran youths in the security apparatus. The Soludo, because he's working for the federal government, have to do what he was told to do. He recruited some people. I see now a Bubago. Mandesi now Operation Udogachi. Bunye Hebe. Bunye ha arms and ammunition. Their job as security, we're going to intimidate our people who are selling the market. Their job now is to kidnap people who don't listen to them. Their job is to kidnap people, intimidate people who are standing on their rights. Their job is to disappear some people who do not agree with them. Exactly what the government of Nigeria wants happen in Biafran territory. That is what Chukwuma Soludo and Mba in Enugu State. They are promoting in Biafran territory. And the irony of it all is that Anambrarians and the youths in Anambra State, we see the atrocities that all these people are committing against our people. And they will keep quiet. They will not fight back. They will not speak out. They will not protest. And instead of them to protest, or instead of them to speak out or fight back, they will vent their anger on the Biafran Defense Forces that are protecting their land. Because that is what the Nigerian government want them to do through Soludo. How long are we going to be under this subjugation? Kemgbe aga na anyị nọ jide anyị nnọọ na-apịwa anyị ọnụ all the time, and nobody is rising up to fight for his freedom. Ụdara sị, ọsọ ya mụtara nwa na-apịwa ọnụ. Biafrans, it is time we rise up and fight for our freedom. Because ihe ndị anyị wụkwa ohu, we are slaves in our land. If we allow all these things to continue in our land, it means we are slaves. So my wonderful people and lovers of freedom, it is playing out all over Biafra land. And we have a solution to all these problems that I have just mentioned. We have a solution, 100% solution, 100% practical solution to all these problems that we are passing through. And the solution is with you and with me. We have solution to all these problems. But our people, instead of embracing this solution, they will embrace the problem. Instead of people embracing the solution to their problems, in Nigeria, people prefer to embrace the problem rather than the solution. You ask me, what is the solution? That's a very good question. The solution is freedom. There is nothing like freedom on this planet Earth. There is nothing like somebody being free from slavery. It's just like in our society. I want Mundi, I might have a gap boy. When you go to steed worship, this boy system in our Igbo system, when you are a grown up, when you are even small, and you feel that you want to make money or you want to plan for your life, you decide to go and serve somebody, to be under somebody, and serve him for a certain number of years. When you complete those years, the person that you serve will now settle you with some of his fortune. Then you can start your own life. Within this period that you are serving that person, you have no freedom of your own. Before you take any decision, you have to consult him. You cannot just wake up and do whatever you want to do or go wherever you want to go. No. You have to seek his consent. This is what we do in our land. Most of our people grow through this process. Biafra was under this stewardship, if I may say, with Nigerian government. The amalgamation of Nigeria, where the southern and the northern protectorate were merged together. 3 big nations were brought together, and there was a clause on it that after 100 years, they can decide to go their separate ways and live their lives. This 100 years of Nigeria, Biafra, Oduduwa, Arewa, and all the rest of them expired in 2014. And now we want to go. We said we are done with Nigeria, but yet they are holding us hostage. But now we have reached a point that we now have a government that is now responsible and fighting for our freedom. This is the solution to the problem that we are passing in Nigeria today. Nigeria has expired, and we have a government of Biafra that is actually speaking and fighting for us. We had the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, though he was called into custody in 2014. We had the leader, DavidNnannah BTV, though he was kidnapped in 2021. But our government is still functioning up to tomorrow. So the Nigerian government actually understands. They actually know that Nigeria has expired. But because they want to still keep us in perpetual bondage, they don't want that amalgamation document to be destroyed. They want to still hold us in captivity outside our own will. And that is why they are using the governors that we have in our various states to hold us down. And that is why we are passing through all this intimidation, harassment that you and I are going through today. So, and the government of Biafra is doing everything humanly possible to make sure that we as a people are free from this subjugation, from this slavery that Nigeria is forcing us into. So the solution to all these problems that we have today is for you as a Biafran to support the Biafran Republic government in exile. That is the solution. All these sufferings and intimidation that we are going through in Nigeria will never stop. The only thing that will put a stop to it is Biafran restoration. Biafra freedom. The killings that is happening in Biafran territory can only stop only when we are free as a people. The reason why the killings is not happening the way it is happening in other states in Nigeria is because of the presence of the Biafran Defense Forces. Outside that, Nigeria hated us with passion. Outside that, today, my brother, my sister, Biafra land, we have many IDP camps. But the reason you don't see IDP camps is because of the actions, activities, and the defense of our land by the Biafran Defense Forces. But how long are we going to be defending our land? How long? Is it a perpetuity? Every day I am defending our land. We are defending Biafra. We are defending Biafra. We want to totally evict all these people that we are defending Biafra from our land. Anyị chọrọ ịchụ ndị Nigeria n'obodo anyị bụ Biafra. Anyị chọrọ ịchụ all these people ji anyị n'ọlụ na-egbu ndebe anyị. Na-anaghị anyị gaa ọlụ kọọ ugbo. We want to evict all these terrorists in our land that are killing our people, destroying our farmland, raping our women. We want to evict them from our land. It is visible. We want to make sure that there is no checkpoints anywhere in Biafran territory. As a matter of fact, we want to be free as a people. We want to be free. For most of you who are overseas, who are in diaspora, the only places you can see checkpoints is on the borders to other countries or other nations. You don't see checkpoints in the city. You don't see police checkpoints. They borrow aba cement, aba aja, butchish everywhere on a road. Road in the mother na aba. E borrow aba aja. Bushish everywhere, everywhere. You don't see all those things. Even in the same Nigeria that you are, you don't see all these checkpoints, roadblocks everywhere in other states in Nigeria. No. The only place that you see all this intimidation, all these checkpoints, military and police, even custom, immigration self don't get their own checkpoints. Even so road safety. Nigeria don't normalize everything. Burugon, Bunye people, even those who did not go into training. Bupatahana South-Eastern roads, Biafra land. Hano Chichia everywhere. Isi Lagos, Buribuah Hanabata. Your money will finish on the road before you can get to your destination. And you are coming from overseas, you will spend and spend and spend. And if you don't spend some time, your life is at risk. Your life is at danger. They kill you and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Nobody will investigate. Nobody will be held accountable. Nobody will be prosecuted for anything because it involves Biafrans. We have to put a stop to this, fellow Biafrans. We have to put a stop to this. And that is why I am speaking to you from my location this morning. If you have not supported the Biafran Republic government in exile, if you are not supporting the Biafran Defense Forces, it means you don't want us to be free. It means the intimidation, the harassment that we are going through in our land, it means you approve of it. It means that the killings that is happening in our land, you approve of it. But if you don't approve of it, if you are not comfortable with it, if you don't like it, if you don't like these intimidations, this harassment we are undergoing in our land, then it is time you come out and support the Biafran government in exile. Because because it is this government that is protecting our land. The Biafran Defense Forces are under the control of the Biafran Republic government in exile. They are the ones, the volunteers that have volunteered to protect our land. And protecting our land, they can't protect our land with ordinary hands. They can't protect our land coming on social media and talking about it. No. For you to protect your land, you need guns and bullets. Guns and bullets are the only tools that you can use to protect your land, your women, and the children from the terrorist Nigerian state, from these Fulani herdsmen that are running, rampaging everywhere in Nigeria. We have to protect our land. So we need you, if you have not joined the Biafran Republic government in exile, in our donations, in our fundraisings, this is the time for you to join. Very, very important. This is the time for you to embrace this government. This government is the reason why you are still very much alive in our territory. This government is the reason why our territory is still under protection. That you don't see people being killed like chicken is because of the Biafran Defense Forces that are protecting our land. And these men and women, they are equal to the task. We don't only want to protect our land, we want to evict these people from our land. We want to stop these checkpoints from functioning in our territories. And the only way we can do that is to equip the Biafran Defense Forces with everything that they need, so that these military barracks here and there in our land, they will not be existing anymore. And we cannot do it with empty hand. The government that we have today in Nigeria is a Fulani government. It's a terrorist government. And you know how terrorism roll. Anywhere they have Christians, that is where you see their military, you see their terrorists invading. Go to Benue State today. All the Christian communities in Benue State have been taken over. The same thing applies to Kaduna, Borno, Makurdi, everywhere all around Nigeria. That is why you see them everywhere all over Biafra land with their guns and bullets in their military uniforms and all the rest of them. Because they want to Islamize us. They want to take over our land. Do you want them to take over our land? You that is living in abroad and you are not supporting, when are you going to stop? When are you going to support? When are you going to stop staying on the fence? Is it when your community is overrun? Is it when your community is taking over that you can now ask that you join the support for our liberation? Is it when your people in the village are finished, are killed by the terrorist Nigerian state? Is that the time you will come now to join the Biafran funding? My brother, wake up. We have a lot of things to do. This task is not only for one person. It's not only for DavidNnannah BTV. DavidNnannah BTV have done his bit. He has opened the eyes of many Biafrans. DavidNnannah BTV have opened our eyes to see, to hear, and to understand the plans the Nigerian government have for us. He also created the Eastern Security Network then to make sure that they wanted to invade us in 2023, to make sure that they drive away the Fulani herdsmen who were living in our bushes. So DavidNnannah BTV have done his bit. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpanjoko, have also done his best. He led us to the Biafran Republic government in exile. He harmonized all the armed groups in Biafran land and brought them into one umbrella, the Biafran Defense Forces. and opened an avenue of funding for them so that they will not lack logistics in order to protect our land. What have they not done for us? The ball is now in our court. What do the Biafran Defense Forces or the government expect from you or expect from me? The only thing they expect from you is funding. We need to fund our defense. We need to fund our freedom. We need to fund our protection. We need to fund our protection, my brothers and sisters. Nigeria government will not protect you. Fulani terrorist government will not protect you. As a matter of fact, they will prefer that everybody dies in Biafran land so that they take over our land. That is the plan of the Nigerian state. They will be better off that everybody dies in our land so that they can occupy our land. That is their plan, and they are working towards that. And you as a Biafran, you are in Aba doing business. You feel that, oh, of course, Oti is doing well, right? We understand that. But it is not about Oti. It is not about doing well. It is about protecting and sustaining that well that Oti is doing. While you are focusing on your business, the terrorists are occupying our bushes, our forests, taking strategic positions, deceiving you with development, Oti development. That is what they are playing. They are playing with us, deceiving us with development, while they are occupying strategic places in our land. If you are an Enugu, Ifeanyi Mba is deceiving indigenes with elephant projects that he's doing this, he's doing that. Why the Fulanis are killing our people in our various communities and nobody is protecting them. If you are in Anambra State, of course, Soludo is doing his own, using Udogachi and Ibubago to destroy a lot of our people. Why the Fulanis are taking strategic positions and places to plan for takeover of our land. We need you to start now to support the Biafran Defense Forces. This is very important, my brothers. We have a government, and that government has sustained this fight up to this moment. You see what is happening in Okigwe, where the Nigerian government are coming with Okuno jets to bomb civilian locations. They don't care. They don't care if all of us dies. The world will not speak about it. Nobody will be held responsible. Hope Uzodinma will go scot-free. They don't care. That is why we have the Biafran Defense Forces, to prevent you, to prevent your community, to prevent our women and children from being killed or our communities from being destroyed. But we cannot do much if your support is not with the government. Defending a country is very, very expensive. Besides, we don't have a sponsor. The only people who are sponsoring the Biafran Defense Forces is the Biafran people. The only people who are defending our land is the Biafran people. So it is through that funding, that the Biafran Defense Forces can be able to strategize and plan how to safeguard our land. So I'm appealing to you, Biafrans, please It is time we wake up and support the Biafran Defense Forces. It is time we fund our freedom. It is time we bring out our resources to support those who are protecting our land. Those of you in Lagos, you saw what happened in 2023. It is not yet over. It is not yet over. I want you to understand that Lagos is not your land. Agaracha must come back. Agaracha must come back. If you feel that the terrorism that is happening in our land have not gotten to you in Lagos, think twice. Or you want your land to be taken over before you can know that you need to support those who are protecting your land. Those of you in Abuja, don't feel that you are in the capital city. Even the capital city itself is not safe. You build your mansions in our various communities and you are living in capital city, right? Unless you want the Fulanis to take over your ancestral land and you will be living in Abuja the rest of your life, then you continue in Abuja. You continue living in Abuja while your village, while your community, while your state is under the occupation of the Fulani terrorists. The Nigerian government are supporting them. So if you are in Abuja, if you are in Lagos, this is the time for you to support our freedom. This is the time for you to bring out your money. Bring out your money and support the protection of our women and children in our homeland. If you think that you are free, your uncle in the village may not be free. Your aunties in the village may not be free. Your village houses may not be free. Your community may not be free. So if you feel that you are free, your other siblings may not be free. Okay? So you need to fund the freedom so that your people can be free and you will be free. You need to fund the protection of the properties you have in your homeland. Lagos and Abuja is not your land. You are making a lot of money in Lagos and Abuja. Protect your land first, so that also chuwage na Lagos, also chuwage na Abuja. Igbanata be nna gị or be nne gị. Igbanata ikwu nne gị or ikwu nna gị. Most of you don't think about this. Opportunity doesn't last forever. You have opportunity of supporting your freedom. You have opportunity of funding the Biafran Defense Forces. These people are protecting our land. They have vowed to protect our land. The only thing they need from you is your money. Is your money to defend your land and your territory. Those of you in Onitsha, main market Onitsha, making lots of money. Those of you in Nnewi, making lots of money. Those of you in Aba, making lots and lots of money. Ade akwakọ na ochinti na aga esugo. Unu kwesịrị ịma what is on board at this particular time. These people want to take over our land. That is why you see all that is happening in our land. We, the Biafran Republic government in exile, they are doing wonderfully well to make sure that these people do not succeed in taking over our land. And that is why we are asking that you support this government so that the Biafran Defense Forces will be funded. Very, very important. And then wekwara nke a na-akpọ IOU loan. Nke ige, inyege gọọmenti ego. Ha ga-akwụghị ya, ha kwụchie gị ya with interest n'enu ya. Because Biafra ga-abịarịla. Always a must that Biafra ga-abịarịla. In this our generation, Here, ofu ihe ịrịba ama Maazị Nnamdi Kanu gwara mụ na gị. It's a prophecy that our leader told each and every one of us. And a lot of his prophecies, all of them have come to pass. Only this Biafran freedom. And achọrọ m ịgwa gị na restore go Biafra. Ihe afọziri kịta ka defend ya. Anọ ya ka anyị na-emekwa na this time. We are defending our land, protecting our women and children, so that the terrorists will not take over our land. My wonderful people, my lovers of freedom, it is an appeal to you as a Biafran. If you love your community, if you love your fathers, your mothers, your relations, your relatives, your extended and nuclear families, please try and support the Biafran Defense Forces. Try and support our government so that we will be free as a people. All over the world that we are doing wonderfully well. But there is nothing like freedom. If we are free in Biafran territory, we cannot be looking for greener pastures even all the way to Afghanistan. Because if you go there, you see Biafrans. All the way to Pakistan. Anywhere as in the Madonna no Wanka, Egari neighbor, you will see Biafrans looking for greener pastures. Or an abomination. Is it an abomination? Or is it a taboo? All these people that we are in their various countries, if they come to Biafra land looking for employment, if they come to Biafra land looking for a better life, greener pastures in Biafra land, is that a taboo? We can make it work. We have what it takes to make it work. And that is why the world do not want us to be free. But onye ajukwara na na-ajụ onwe ya. Onye ajụrụ ọ na-ajụ onwe ya. No. The world don't want us to be free. And yet you as a Biafran, you don't want to be free. I want to be free. The government of Biafra wants you to be free. The government of Biafra wants each and every one of us to be free. It is only you that is not supporting, that don't want us to be free. If you want freedom, you have to go for it. You have to fight for it. Yesterday, our acting Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, made you to understand that America want to see what we are doing before they can recognize us as a sovereign nation. So what it means is that the ball is in our court. America want to see how many territories that is under our control before they can now recognize us as a nation. Of course, that is the right thing to do. We need to be in control of our region. We need to be in control of our territory. That is what we should do. We should be doing at this time. The Biafran Defense Forces are equal to the task. It won't take them long to evict all these terrorists from our land and take total control of our territory. But there is a but. There is a setback and there is a problem. The problem is finance. The problem is money. And the problem is you that is not supporting the government. You that is not donating to the government. You that is not embracing the special IOU loan. You are part of the problem that we are not free up to this moment. So I want you to understand that Biafra has been restored. The remaining aspect of the freedom that we are asking for, it is within our reach. It is in our hands to be free as a people. Once we are free, the whole world will be free. Africa will be free. So freedom is knocking on the corner. I want you to embrace it. I want you to support our government. I want you to support the BDF. Embrace the special IOU loan. Very, very important you do that. That is the only way we can evade these terrorists that are occupying our land. Military occupation here and there in our territory. How long, my brothers and sisters, are we going to be under the occupation of the Nigerian state after declaring our nation? And the reason why we are soliciting for funds and your support is because we are not in control of our natural resources. Of course, if we get hold of our natural resources, nobody will ask you for penny. Nobody will ask you for a dime. But for the fact that our natural resources are still under the control of the Nigerian state, that is why we are asking for your fund so that we can use it to evade these terrorists that are milking us dry, and evade those who are, taking our natural resources from us. We want to be in control of our natural resources. Yes, it is only when we do that that we can now have full autonomy of our resources. We now can speak and the world will listen. But before we can get to that, everybody must to commit his resources to it. There are sacrifices you have to pay. If you are blessed enough as a Biafran, I want you to know that that blessing, like our leader always used to tell you, that your blessing was for a reason, a time like this, so that you can support your freedom. If you are a billionaire in Biafra land, please, this is the time that your people need you most. If you are a millionaire in Biafran land, a Biafran for that, this is the time that you shall demonstrate to your people that you want their freedom. Very, very important. Ukraine, even as independent as they are still seeking for funds to fight this war against Russia. Russia, even as independent as they are still sourcing for funds, including Israel. So you can't compare them with us, that we don't have any control of our natural resources. We are only fighting this war with the donations that Biafrans are making all over the world, all around the world. And that donation must continue until we liberate ourselves, until we liberate our land from the occupation of the terrorist Nigerian state. Ụmụnne m, ayọ ka anyị na-ayọ unu. O metụ gị n'aka, o metụ gị n'obi, ebe ọbụla o metụrụ gị, biko cheta na our land is under the Nigerian occupation, and our land needs to be free so that you and I will be free. Ebe ọbụla ị nọ all around the world, you are not free, and you can never be free until your land is liberated from the occupation of the terrorist Nigerian state. Thank you so much for joining me. I see you. Clement and Eto. Clement, thank you for joining. Biafra, William Elu. William, thank you for being here as well. Please like and share. Like and share. This message must be preached. Our people need to understand that they need to join hands for this freedom. Very, very important. This freedom must come in our time. It is our responsibility to create this awareness. In my little way, this is what I think I can contribute. I'm doing it in my little way until I have a bigger platform. So my wonderful lovers of freedom, I thank you for joining me this morning. And if you are here, you have not joined the government of Biafra, BRGIE, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? If you are not supporting our acting Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere, where are you supporting? Where is your support from? KB now support. Yes, that reminds me. I don't even want to talk about this woman, but I want to talk about it now. Let me talk about it briefly. For those of you who are supporting Ngozi Orabueze, for those of you who are hell-bent, even when the Prime Minister have said that everybody should fall back to this original government brigging, and you are still supporting Ngozi Orabueze, I want to ask you a question. Our Prime Minister was called for questioning on the 18th of November 2024. Biafra was restored or declared or restored on the 2nd of December 2024. Up to this moment, tell me what Madam Ngozi Orabufulani have achieved. That what has she brought to the table that is making you to even support her or contribute to her platform up to this moment? What? Is that the waste? Is Israel fighting Hamas with waste? I'm asking you, is Israel fighting Hamas with waste? Or is Russia and Ukraine Habo waste? The soldiers are Moshe. Is that what they are doing? Use your brain. Use your brain, my people. Use your brain. Support the Biafran Defense Forces through the Biafran Republic government in exile. This is the government that the Prime Minister left for us. He told you, fall back on this government. It is this government that is forming the nucleus. It is the only government that is recognized all around the world to fight for Biafra, no other one. BRGIE will form the basis of the recognition of USB. Only then will you be called United States of Biafra. Right now, we are still under government in exile until they recognize their USB. You are joking. So you supporting Ngozi? I don't know what to tell you. I don't actually know what to tell you. It means that you are stupid, you are idiotic, you are insane, you are moronic. All no kind of bonde, intellectuals and sophisticated morons. If you are supporting Ngozi Orabufulani, that told you that when you waste, Ibu Hala waste, you are terrorists that come to kill you are disappearing. They will disappear just like that. You are a fool. Having said that, that's the little I want to talk about this morning about Ngozi Orabufulani. Support the Biafran Republic government in exile under the acting prime ministership of Ogechukwu Nkere. He is doing wonderfully well, irrespective of the fact that he doesn't speak much. But what he does speaks more volume than what he speaks about. And that is the government that the prime minister has advised each and every one of you to fall back to. So the Biafran Republic government in exile is actively protecting the land of our ancestors through Biafran Defense Forces. This is the government of the people. Fund it now. Fund it today. Fund it tomorrow. Fund it every day. And our land will not be occupied. Our land will never be overrun by the terrorist Nigerian state. Thank you so much for joining me. I see you, Honor Innocent. I salute each and every one of you who have been part of this broadcast. As I will end it here, to come back maybe tomorrow, anytime I'm opportune, I will make my voice heard. If it is the only contribution I'm going to make, I will do my best. But I want you, don't stop supporting our government. Don't stop fighting for our freedom. Don't stop speaking for our freedom. Because freedom is life. When you are free, you have the world in your pocket. My name still remains Mazis DavidNnannah of the Biafran Writers of Conscience. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow my page, right? Yes, not like others. You know, there is something that we are going to do going forward, but when that time comes, so support my page, support my channel, DavidNnannah BTV. Support me, support my page, so that together Biafra will be restored in our own time. Ndewo n'ụmụ Chineke. Join me on space, because I know by now a lot of Biafrans are on the space where we are preaching the message of freedom and redemption as well. Make sure you are part of us. Ndewo n'ụmụ Chineke. As I sign out from my location, I love you all. Airborne to the Biafran Defense Forces. I appreciate Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, Maazị Simon Ekpanjoko, Briggy, government, cabinet members, and each and every one of you that is supporting our freedom. Ka Chukwu okike abịama gọzie unu niile. Ndewonu. I yield my mic and I sign out from here. Bye.